Can you see this? Can you see this? I have one side of my mustache that does not want to go in the same direction. That's really frustrating. Welcome into the stream, everybody. This is going to be our last endeavor in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now, I actually haven't put any live Sword and Shield or Sword and Shield at all on my channel yet, because let me tell you, getting this stuff figured out with a Mac, especially a Mac laptop, is not the easiest thing in the world. But we are live, and we are doing a shiny hunt in the Dynamax Raid Adventures, looking for, primarily for myself, a shiny Yveltal. I love Yveltal so much. I think his shiny is just killer. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and switch over to Pokemon Sword and Shield. Here we are inside, and of course, just like last time, I have to close my window. Yeah. I really got to get better about doing that before I start the stream, but let's hope this all works very well. So I think I have, oh gosh, okay. I was not ready for the controller to react that quickly to me, but let's make sure that we have everything set up the best we can. I think in Dynamax Raid here, I actually have Yveltal saved. I do! Okay, good. I also have Zygarde, which we may jump to if I get fed up with this Yveltal hunt, as I tend to do sometimes. And this is actually really cool. Wait, I'm not even connected to the internet. Hold on, that's a big fail on my part. This would be a lot harder with the computer trying to help me out there. Hold on one second, let me just make sure I am connected to the internet here, so that we can do our best job possible, right? Alrighty. So how's everybody doing? I gotta tell you, today I have been a little bit more lethargic and just tired in general than I'd like to be, especially seeing as Pokemon Scarlet and Violet come out tomorrow, and it is absolutely my plan to be streaming those games. Well, one of the games anyways. So my plan is at 9 a.m. EST. I believe that's the correct time. I'll have to double check that later tonight. But I will be streaming Pokemon Scarlet, and I am the most excited I have been in a long time for a Pokemon game. I've been avoiding spoilers, so I'm really trying to go into this as blind as humanly possible, honestly, because, you know, this is the first time I'm playing a new Pokemon game on release day in front of people. On the internet. So I have no idea how many people I'm going to be streaming to. I don't anticipate a huge crowd, because there are... Oh, why did I just quit? No! Fail, see? I'm not even a good streamer. I can't talk and do things at the same time. It just doesn't work out for me. But we're going to get better, you know? That's the whole point of doing things like this, so that we continue to improve. We'll save the adventure. And let me just stop talking here so I make sure I click the right buttons. Okay, invite others. I think I passed the hurdle here. I'm not going to click quit. I'm going to wait for others to join in. And there have to be other people playing this game tonight to celebrate and say kind of farewell, bon voyage, to Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's been a great 3 years. There have been some, you know, hurdles along the way, some bumps on the road, and that's totally fine. You can't expect every Pokemon game to be an absolute banger. Pokemon Sword and Shield did a really good job, but I have such high hopes for Scarlet and Violet. I know that's dangerous ground, because when you go in with super high hopes, bigger chance of them being just absolutely dashed, which is not the best, obviously. But there's very little I can do about it, if I'm honest with you. And I'm going to try to, you know, find a little bit of energy tonight, make sure that we can do the best possible. Oh, we're Raichu. Are you kidding? Wait, hold on. Raichu. We're going for Yveltal. I think this is the right move. I mean, I'm going to go with it. It's been a while since I've done a Dynamax Raid adventure, so I'm going to be a little bit, you know, rusty on it for the first round or so. But I mean, it's basic. There's not much to be rusty on, I don't think. So, we're just gonna keep our fingers crossed that we at least pull a shiny Pokemon, right? I mean, huge chances of doing so, comparatively, in Dynamax Raid. And I want that shiny Yveltal so bad. Oh! Why are we all glitchy here? What's going on? That's not cool. I'm gonna have to try to figure that out by tomorrow. I don't know what to do about that, but we're a little bit glitchy right now. Not cool. Might be my monitor. So this monitor is not a gaming monitor. It's not like a really high-end monitor in any way, shape, or form. This is. I think it has like a 60 hertz refresh rate or something like that. So this may not be the best. Oh, that's really glitchy. I'm gonna really have to figure that out. Interesting. Okay. Let's hope that doesn't really continue. Maybe it's just like a loose cord somewhere. I'm afraid to jiggle anything while I'm currently in a stream, but might have to play around with some, you know. Well, I might just have to jiggle it a little bit after I'm done to see if it fixes. We're just gonna go straight for the Thunderbolt here. And I'm actually streaming to no one right now, so that's pretty cool. Empty room. But I'll try to keep my eye out and see if anybody does show up, so I can greet them appropriately. And because this video is going to be saved, I'm going to try my best to just talk all the way through it. And if someone pops in, I can always just repeat myself, I guess. But I do also want to manage, like, my voice. Because as I've noticed in the other two streams that I've done thus far, I'm not super used to talking for extended periods of time. And my throat has been getting dry. So I've got my water here. And I plan to go for, you know, the full hour stream tonight. That's kind of been my goal since I started, just, you know, hit an hour, and that seems to be a pretty good length for a stream. But I might go over. We're gonna get to the hour and we see how we feel, and then take it from there. That's probably the best method. Get the electric terrain off. Boy, I tell you one thing. For some reason, of all the things in Pokemon games, especially in competitive Pokemon, the thing that I have the hardest time remembering the effects of are the terrains, and I don't think I'm alone here. I've heard other streamers, I've heard other, like, professional VGC players say that the terrains are still a little bit confusing at times. I'm not talking about, like, really high caliber VGC players or anything like that. But, you know, people that should know what the terrains do by heart, they still struggle with them sometimes, so I don't feel too bad, to be honest with you. But it is frustrating that this game has been out for 3 years. Electric terrain and the terrains have been a thing for even longer, and I still struggle with them. It's more of a personal pride kind of thing, you know? And this is a very different game than the game that I've been streaming. So I've been doing Pokemon Wilds for the other two streams that I've done on this channel, and very, very different experience. I didn't notice that it would actually feel this different to stream a standard Pokemon game versus something like Poké Wilds. It may just feel different because Poké Wilds is a completely new thing for me. I'm really glad I have Pokeballs, actually. I did not check that before I started this stream. So we got 113 Pokeballs. That should be fine because, I mean, there's no bursting out in the Dynamax raids, which is nice. But maybe this whole, like, streaming to 0 viewers thing is a benefit, actually, because I have seen videos go up on YouTube of people like Mr. Beast just popping in to someone who's streaming to 0 viewers and then just drop a bomb. So, you know what? No viewers right now, but Mr. Beast, you are welcome to stop by anytime. And I will greet you. I do not want... No, I'm good without this. I definitely don't want a Wigglytuff right here. And managing my accent is going to be a little rougher tonight, too, because, as I mentioned before, I'm a bit on the tired side, which is not ideal. It looks like the glitchiness has kind of... Okay, so the glitchiness has gotten better. That's really, really good. I knew there would probably be some sort of problems here just because... Oh my. Okay, so Focus Sash, Expert Belt. Let's go with the Expert Belt, I think, is the best play. Raichu really doesn't need any of the other stuff. He could have benefited from a Focus Sash too, I suppose. Oh no, it's a Alolan Raichu. I just totally forgot about its Psychic typing briefly there. So if we get all the way to Yveltal here, we do run the risk of being one-shot. Huh. Well, maybe we'll come across something that we can oh, nice! I like Lycanroc so much. See, I like the Dynamax Raid Adventures. Because, like, the shiny rate is increased, for one thing, on all of the Pokemon that are involved, right? And, not all Pokemon show up all the time, but when you get ones like Lycanroc and other really, really, really good, in my opinion, shiny forms, or potential shiny forms, it makes it really exciting. So, yeah, I look forward to this next hour or so of streaming, and, I took the dog outside, so we won't have to take a break for that. She's got food, she's got water, everything's good. Laying on the couch, love it. She is packed in for the night so far, and yeah, hoping for a really good stream here. Maybe even a shiny. Ooh, I don't know what is going on today. So tired and just, I don't know. I don't feel congested or anything like I have been lately, or at least not as bad, which is good because I'm going to be talking a lot tomorrow. I'm going to see if they're okay with me leaving work early so that I can start the stream at the appropriate time, and it should be okay. I know I have to do a few things to like open up and everything, but yeah, hopefully they'll be cool with me just dipping out a little bit early, so that way I can dedicate the whole weekend to Scarlet. Scarlet is the game that I will be playing on the channel. I haven't actually purchased Violet yet. That's going to be something I play just on my own. But the reason being, I don't have two Switches, and Pokemon Home is not going to be a real thing until probably January, for this game, at least. Or not this game, but Scarlet. So, there's not really a whole lot of benefit, except, you know, playing through the game and getting it all the way completed first. But, yeah, there's no real benefit on me buying both games on drop day. I don't need two of the same, you know, pre-order bonuses and all that other stuff. So, I just bought Scarlet for now. That is the game that we're going to be streaming. And, yeah, still some decisions to make, actually. Still some decisions to make. As Pokemon Scarlet and Violet get closer, do I want to... I think... Honestly? Hold on. We're going to check here. So, attack is 163 and speed is 1... Yeah, we're swapping, actually. I'm swapping this because we have no guard, for one thing. And we don't have that dark weakness. So this is going to be better in the long run, I think. And, oh, we are lucking out taking the pass with the scientists and the backpacker with the items on almost every beneficial typing that we could run into so far. So that's really, really good for us. There are a lot of beneficial typings on this little, like, map, I'm noticing. We've got Ice over to the right, Fairy here, Fairy there, Rock. We're eating well. We're eating well on this route. I'm interested to see, and again, because I've been avoiding all hi, welcome in. I see the viewer go up. You know, it's a lot more noticeable. No! I clicked swap Pokemon. I'm such an idiot. Ooh, we get Mimikyu though. Oh! that was a flood of different emotions there. I thought I almost screwed up wildly. As I was saying, it's a lot more apparent when you do get one viewer as opposed to 0 viewers. Welcome to the stream. So glad you're here, and I hope you enjoy. I don't know how long you've been here because I've been doing really bad about like looking down and checking. But yeah, so this is the last shiny hunt for me in Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's a very exciting time. Baby Doll Eyes is my only fairy move. Ayya. Okay, it's fine, it's fine. We got rid of a weakness, and of course we have Disguise with Mimikyu, and Mimikyu is the mascot. Of course he is wearing the wrong outfit, so I'm gonna have a talk with him after this. But, yeah, so our target right now is going to be the shiny Yveltal. And we may switch that up as this night progresses into shiny Zygarde, especially if I get sick of this hunt because it's not working out well. But we've got our fingers crossed, and we are going to... Oh! No, we're gonna make sure we Dynamax. We're not gonna mess this up because I'm talking. I've got a lot of emotions going through my body right now. We got Scarlet and Violet coming out tomorrow. Lots of plans for that game. The nerves are on end, so gotta really try to keep it together tonight. It's gonna be a struggle, but you know what? Without struggle, you don't get any growth. So I'm here and I'm prepared for both, and I hope you are as well, because I think as Pokemon fans, we should all be ready to really grow with this new game, and I think it's going to be a really, really great experience for a long time. From what I've heard, now I've been avoiding any spoilers. From what I've heard, this game is going to work almost as a complete replacement for Sword and Shield. It's got all of the key features that you really would want it to have. You've got the competitive side, I think, is coming over to Scarlet and Violet from here on out. The shiny hunting method, which I don't know, I've seen people saying that it's good. I've heard people saying that it's not so good. We'll have to see. We'll have to experience that and make our own decision. But it's exciting, nevertheless. And I'm hearing something about like over 100 new Pokemon and all kinds of different things that get me really amped up about it. Wait a second, hold on. Do we not have Disguise, or did he already just break it and I missed it? I don't even know. See, this is my opportunity to really grow with these new games, because I'm pretty much a brand new streamer. I'm not accustomed to doing this many things at once, really. At least not in this space, not in this context. So, definitely going to be an interesting experience. I've really got to monitor how much I'm talking. I really do. Because, yeah, if all works out well, tomorrow is going to be pretty much, an all-day stream, I think. Oh, here we go. No, see, this is a real quandary for me. Do we switch? No, I think we let Mr. Luca here take it, because I have to keep my mascot, right? I have to keep the mascot, even though this Azumarill has play rough. He does not have huge power, as we're seeing there. You know, I never really noticed that before, but in this... Wait, no, that's not true. That's not true. I'm about to just say something completely stupid and make myself out to sound completely unprofessional. I know my Pokemon. Azumarill can get Sap Sipper. Totally normal thing. I was about to say that this mode randomizes the Pokemon. It doesn't. I'm just crazy. And if you've watched me at all in the past, you pretty much already know that. If you haven't, welcome. I'm kind of crazy. But it is what it is. So I really wish... it's such a bummer that we don't have any Fairy-type moves on Mimikyu here. I forgot the movesets in this mode are definitely trash sometimes. But Mimikyu is still the baby. He's the boy. The problem is that he's just not wearing his right costume. If he was, the right moves would have come with it. I completely understand. The drip is not on point tonight, but, you know, we'll let it slide. We'll let it slide just because Mimikyu does try hard and he only wants love, right? So, yeah, I'm gosh, I don't know. I feel like I need to make another G Fuel or something, but I don't want to get up, so I hope the energy will find me. I'm doing my best here. Doing my best. And let's see how much this slash is gonna... It does nothing. It's a good thing everybody else has some pretty good attacking moves. So that's what I get for getting overly excited about Mimikyu. Sometimes you just put the blinders on and you see what you want to see. if I had checked his moveset before I accepted, may have changed things. May have changed things. One of the things, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that I'm looking forward to, well, one of the many things, as you can probably tell already by this point, that I'm looking forward to for Scarlet and Violet are... I really hope that they've changed or altered or done something with the 3D sprites. Now, I'm a person that pretty much thinks Pokemon art kind of peaked when they were still doing sprite work in games, right? I think a lot of Pokemon really suffer from 3D models. Even up to this point, through Sword and Shield, with more animations and all of the stuff that they've put into them over the years, they still really don't have the life to me that some of the sprite work, especially like Gen 2 sprite work, Gen 5 sprite work, Gen 4 even sometimes, and well, pretty much there's a good sprite work in all of the generations, at least to some degree. My personal favorite is Gen 2, but I do think that the 3D models just make some Pokemon look really lifeless, you know? Like, especially, like, I wish I could just, like, slide in examples of this on the go, but I can't, unfortunately, but I wish I could. I am crazy, absolutely. Thank you for at least agreeing with me on that point. But yeah, the art is just not there with some of the 3D models, in my opinion, and I'm really hoping that's something that they adjust for the new games. Or I hope they find some way to inject some personality into these glorious digital beasts that have been such a big part of all 90s kids' lives. And Dad, because you're in my chat, Mr. Beast is now not going to come in and drop $1 million. He only does that to people who aren't being watched, but I really appreciate the watch time. Please feel free to stick around. Money only corrupts, right? The things you have to tell yourself to make it okay sometimes. I'm just happy that I found a way to get the Switch to work with my current setup. Not shiny, not shiny. Okay, I didn't want him to be shiny. Oh no, not shiny. That's such a bummer. Yes, I'm fine without taking any of the Pokemon. We just wasted our time, picked up some Dynite ore, which we're probably not going to use again. I really don't know what the future of streaming and this series of video games, Pokemon Sword and Shield, is going to look like after Scarlet and Violet. I have a hard time remembering how it changed when Scarlet and Violet came out, to be honest with you. So I might have to do a little bit of research tonight and go back and watch some of the older videos from Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and just see what that transition was like, if I can glean any information from that, that is. So you can see, I have adjusted our sub counter here on the screen, and the live streaming thing seems to be pretty popular thus far. I mean, people are still watching the live streams that I've done up to this point, and yeah, I've pulled 3 new subscribers out of that, so I'm very thankful that I decided to actually jump into this. My anxiety kind of held me off from it for a long time. The social anxiety, self-diagnosed, by the way, social anxiety. But yeah, I'm really glad that I was convinced to just kind of jump in head first and give live streaming a try, because it's actually really enjoyable for me when I sit down and actually do it. For some reason, like the thought of doing it and setting up a stream and scheduling it and putting all the information in is still a little bit frightening, a little intimidating for me. But once I get into a stream and I start interacting with the game and interacting with people who do come into the chat, it really, I start to relax quite a bit, and I really enjoy the experience. So I'm very much looking forward to doing more of this in the future. Oh, we're going Frostlass. Abso-frickin-lutely we're going Frostlass. I like Frostlass, and especially with the Gen 8 moves like Triple Axle. We got Aurora Veil, so we can play some support role. That's really cool. I will absolutely take it. Yeah, no edits. I can't edit anything out. I can't change anything. What I say is what happens, and it's what you see. If I happen to go into a phase of not talking for too long, then we just have a weird dead space in the video, and I mean, that's not entertaining for anybody. So I kind of have to make sure to do a few things that I don't have to worry about when I'm recording videos. But I don't know, I feel more lively, like, and definitely the prospect of not having to edit anything is huge, because I mean, I'm a competent editor, I think. I really don't have the patience for it. When I start doing like cool edits that reflect different like meanings and stuff like that, at least in my mind, it becomes more fun. But it's not all the time that I'm even able to do that. So editing for me is kind of hit or miss in terms of how much I enjoy it. But at least it's something that I can do for the channel. I think the content that I'm editing actually has a lot to do with that, to be honest with you. If I were editing something that I didn't like near as much as Pokemon, it would be a lot more of a slog to get through. A lot more. And you know what? Even if tomorrow and like, you know, tomorrow everybody is going to be streaming. All of the big Pokemon streamers are going to be streaming the new games at the same time that I'm streaming the games. And you know what? To be honest, I have mixed feelings about it in a few different ways. Because I'm so used to watching them when a new game comes out. When Sword and Shield came out, I spent that whole day watching other Poketubers play it, pretty much. Sorry if anyone out there thought I was doing something more productive. But no, I was just watching those games be played. So now, my time has come to actually... Wait, we only have 10... Ooh, didn't consider that. There's some strategy to this. But anyway, what I was saying, now it's my time to actually stream these games on release day with the big names. So I'm trying my best to go into tomorrow's stream absolutely no expectations, right? I expect there to be almost nobody in my chat because people are going to be watching the more established Poketubers. And I'm totally okay with that. But, you know, being out there and just the thought of being out there doing the thing that they're doing at the same time, it's so refreshing. That's the best word I can use to describe how I feel about it. It's so refreshing to be able to count myself a part of that. Because as small as it sounds, like, you know, I don't anticipate changing the world streaming Pokemon. I don't think anybody who does it anticipates that. I'm good. But it really is, since I've got into this, since I've got into doing, you know, YouTube, I feel like I'm more social, or at least willing to attempt to be social than I have been up to this point. I mean, I just went to a big anime convention to meet some of the Poketubers and hang out with them a little bit. And, yeah, why did I choose Steel, actually? I should have... See, talking again. But, yeah, I think Pokemon can have a much more positive influence on someone's experience than a lot of people think. I mean, I'm probably one of the oldest Poketubers out there right now doing this. You know, I'm one of the originals. Like, I remember when I was old enough at the time to remember when the first generation of Pokemon games came out. So that should probably tell you all you need to know. I think me and like Shady Penguin might be the same age. I may be older than him. I'm not super sure. But you know, I think actually now that I think about it, I think just the thought of like other people think, no, don't focus me down, you turd. Damn it! Why did I expect anything different? I don't know. Who selected Hawlucha? We're gonna have words. We're gonna have words! Anyways, while I'm not actually contributing to this battle at all, yeah. So I'm nearing 32. Not like my mother likes to say that I'm nearing 40. Not true. I'm just now coming to grips with the fact that I'm 30. It's taken me 2 years to do that. So, no, we're not nearing 40. That's not a thing yet. Nothing I have to worry about right now anyways. Yeah, I think that held me off from doing YouTube for a long time, just knowing the fact that, like, dude, I'm way too old to be playing Pokemon. There, you know, but whatever. And then watching all of the people that I've been watching play Pokemon really helped me get rid of that feeling. So if by some miracle someone that I watch, Patters, Luke, Dylan, any of you guys happen to see this stream at any point in your lives, thank you guys so much for making me realize liking Pokemon is fine no matter what age you are. And if you like something, go for it, right? I mean, these are things I always knew in the back of my mind. I just, for some reason, it didn't seem to translate over to playing Pokemon. Spending time, effort, money in order to play Pokemon for an audience of people. In this case, Dad. Hi, Dad. But in other cases, lots more people. And talk to lots more people about Pokemon. It's so strange, you know, when I was at AWA, which is the convention I went to, for those of you who are not familiar. The big anime convention that happens in Atlanta, Georgia. When I went there, I went to a panel. It was called The Evolutionary Theory of Pokemon, and it started out as just a talk about the biology of Pokemon and like actual scientific uses and research that have been done on Pokemon. As crazy as that sounds. Ew. I'm good, man. I'm good. I don't think anybody wants this. Yeah, nobody wants this thing. Okay. The video seems brighter. Is it? Well, I think what it is it's the I think it's the so I'm playing on the Switch, basically. I have the Switch plugged into my computer and I'm playing using the Switch. What do we go with here? What do we go with? We're gonna go with Wise Glasses. So I think it's honestly just the way that the Switch is set up. And the type of game. This is a brighter game than Wilds is. Wilds is modeled after... well, I can't really do anything to either of these guys. So we probably need to go water to get the berries, right? Unless somebody wants this Frostmoth. Yeah, okay, we need to go water. But yeah, I think the Switch is just quite a bit brighter than Wilds is. Anyway, I was talking about that panel I went to. Pardon me, by the way. They were talking about like the scientific uses of Pokemon, and especially like Pokemon Go. It turns out Pokemon Go is being considered as an educational, being considered for educational use rather, by numerous school systems in the U.S. and I think elsewhere as well. I think they mentioned one in Sweden that was considering using Pokemon Go to teach children about things like environmental changes, and when it comes into like genetics. So they're talking about using these like Pokemon as an educational tool at fairly high levels of education to help grab people's attention better than dry, dusty books that were written by, you know, sources in the 1930s, 1960s, whenever the hell they were written. So, I mean, just the crazy knowledge that Pokemon could be teaching children, future generations of children, vital things about our world, that's crazy to me. But it's so cool and so inspiring. And I mean, I knew when I sat down and the panelists introduced themselves. One of them was a microbiologist, and one of them was, God, I can't remember if she was an astrophysicist or something, but literally the week before the panel, she had just got back from her first foray into space. So she just went into space and then came back and talked about Pokemon. So, I mean, I don't feel so silly for liking Pokemon anymore. Let's just put it at that. Eye-opening experience. Absolutely eye-opening and astounding experience. And And I gotta really be careful because underneath my desk right now, in an attempt to get this all set up, my cables are absolutely everywhere. I'm really glad you can't see any more of my setup than this because it's cable mayhem. And it's terrifying to me. I'm not a huge fan. Do I switch? Come on, I don't really want to switch, but I've already died once. 146. I don't think we switch. This may be the wrong call. We may lose just because I don't want to switch and I don't want to give up Frostlass for a freaking Basculin. Ooh, I wonder if the Hisuian Pokemon are going to be a part. Probably not, right? They couldn't be. They might be usable, it might be importable, but I don't think they'll be a part of Scarlet and Violet. We'll have to wait and see. But I really don't think so. I was about to mention, like, if it was Basculegion, then I would probably go for it, to be honest with you, because Basculegion's awesome. But I'm sticking with my Ghosty Gal here, and we're just gonna wish for the best. I really hope he doesn't decide to just target me down. He's looking at me pretty intensely there. And see if I were, I'm just gonna set up the Aurora Veil, honestly. I'm gonna set up the freaking Wait, I can't set up Aurora Veil! No, it's not... Oh, I threw. I absolutely threw. No. What is wrong with me? It's not hailing. Aurora Veil won't work. Shit. Ugh. Well, I really hope he throws as well. The AI in this game is not always known for being the most intelligent. So we can hope. Yep, see, failed. Son of a bitch. Okay, it's fine. We're working out the kinks before it really matters. Because tomorrow, if I make these kind of mistakes, I'm not going to forgive myself. I'm really not. So, yeah, that's how I feel about that. My god. I would ask the chat how they feel about the release of Scarlet and Violet, but I know that the one person in chat couldn't care less, really, and that's totally fine. You're here for me. I really appreciate that. And I mean, honestly, watching the content for the creator and not the actual content is son of a bitch. It's super impressive and super humbling. Thank you. I appreciate you taking time when you could be doing something else and watching me play Pokemon. I don't think anything else needs to be said about that. Dropped water all over myself. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. It's okay. I need to take a shower after this anyways. So a little bit of wetness isn't going to kill me. Does the video look a little bit choppy on you guys' side, or is it just my preview that makes it look a little bit choppy on my side? I really hope this doesn't prove to be an issue tomorrow. I might have to like start upstream a little bit earlier and try to work out some of those kinks before I actually go live. So I'm gonna have to try to design like a be right back screen and like a starting soon screen or something, so that I can actually be live and test these things a little bit. Wait, can I even do that? I'm so new at streaming and like all of these like scene switching elements and stuff like that I'm really not even sure what's possible. So I'm gonna have to find out the hard way. Okay, it seems smooth on your end. That's good. I think it's just my preview video that makes it seem a little jerky. But I tend to watch for these sorts of things, so I may be noticing something that's very minute. But I hope that's the case anyway. I don't want to be the only person streaming Scarlet and Violet tomorrow with a jerky video. And as soon as I have the opportunity to run down to the electronics store, I'm gonna pick myself up a better monitor, and that might fix my issue here. It may be just reflecting the poor refresh rate. I figured a low refresh rate would be fine for Sword and Shield and like Pokemon on the Switch, because I mean they're not the most graphically demanding games. Speaking of which, one of the improvements I really hope they've made is I can't even remember the technical term for it, but when if you're playing a game and you're running through an environment, right? And all of a sudden, things just kind of pop into your view. They don't gently fade into your view as they would naturally. They don't start out small and get bigger. They just kind of pop in there. My brain cannot think of the appropriate terminology at the moment for that. But that is a huge problem here in Sword and Shield in the Galar region. And I really hope the Mediterranean sun of Paldea helps alleviate that issue. And what I mean by that is I really hope the Pokemon Company considered that a problem in this game and have decided to fix it. I have just noticed that my camera is now deciding to do audio. So you're watching on your phone. Okay. Well, I feel like a lot of people are going to be watching on their phones. I feel like that's how most people... Damn it! Come on, Yveltal, shine for me, please! Okay. Yes, I'm fine without taking any of them. None of them are shiny. I have not had the best luck in this game. So I actually had a bit of a problem. So when I was making my new Nintendo account for the channel and everything like that, I made an Australian account so that I can play games when they're released, you know, so I can keep up to date with everyone else who does this. And when I did that, my old account, my personal account that I'd been using for years, right? I don't know what happened, but I must have done something wrong because all of the save data for every game that I've played was just lost. It should have been backed up on the server like I thought it was, but apparently I've done something wrong and all of my save data just went bye-bye. So all of my games, everything, which means I had to completely play through Pokemon Sword and Shield again, to get the Shiny Charm, to get all of the stuff, but the biggest hit to me, I had so many shiny Pokemon that I spent so long working towards. I had teams built out for competitive Pokemon, and they just all went goodbye, which was heartbreaking, crushing even. And so I still have no save file really in Legends Arceus when I was so close to catching Arceus. Ah, that game. I don't know that I'll ever make it through that game in a complete sense again. I really don't. I mean, it's a great game, don't get me wrong. But it's a time investment. It really is. And now with Scarlet and Violet, I think I'm going to be distracted. So I don't know that I'm going to have the option. Okay, so we got to keep in mind who we're going after here, right? We're going after Yveltal. We do get Dazzling Gleam with Starmie, and Starmie is kind of a personal favorite of mine. So I think we're going to go with Starmie for now. But if something better kind of pops up along the way, I need to do my best to remember that I can switch. So this is going to be what we roll with for now. God, time flies when you stream. It really does. I'm already at almost 45 minutes. That's crazy. Might go longer, because I'm still feeling pretty good right now. I might just have to stand up and grab a little bit more water, but I live in a pretty small apartment, so it's not a very far journey. I think my tired legs can deal with that. So, I don't personally want to go the electric route, because I'm going to get bodied. I can handle Hawlucha now. Come on, Fashe. Give me... No! I don't want to fight Electabuzz. Don't do it. Okay, well, I don't know why yelling at them not to do it. We're gonna do it. So, here, I'm gonna die. It's great. It's fine, though, because we're gonna get the shiny Yveltal this route. I feel it. It's in my bones. So tomorrow I might have to skip MMA. So I'm taking MMA classes at the boxing gym here, and they are currently set for being every yeah, we're gonna go ahead and Dynamax off the rip and go for the Mindstorm. They're every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. But I might have to just play hooky from it tomorrow, because of Scarlet and Violet. And I know I've said Scarlet and Violet so many times in tonight's stream, but it really is the only thing on my mind right now. I'm that excited for this game. And I mean, I'm so excited for this game, I haven't even bought the new God of War yet. So that's good. And I'm really glad that the Witcher remastered and everything for PS5 didn't decide to come out at the same time as Scarlet and Violet, because then I would be in for a world of trouble, honestly. I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I would really be in for it if that were the case, but I'm very glad that they're holding off for another, I think it's a whole month. So I'm really hoping that I can beat and enjoy Scarlet and Violet within that month, and have some time to appreciate other games as well, because I've been struggling with doing that since I've been a PokeTuber. It might also have something to do with the fact that I kind of sold my PlayStation 4 before I should have, anticipating that I would be able to acquire a PS5 about a year ago, and it just didn't happen. It didn't work out for me, because Iceland is fantastic in so many ways. One of the ways where they really struggle sometimes is getting stuff, right? We have a very small population, and when we get a shipment of things, like PlayStations, for example, that are in short supply anyways, it kind of means we only get like 5 at a time, 10 at a time, or something at the local electronics store, or like, you know, Best Buy, our version of Best Buy, basically. So we only get like 5 at a time, and because Icelanders are very well informed, typically. Do I want Electabuzz? They know about it at the same time, pretty much, as I do. So, actually, I might switch here. I'm gonna switch here. I might regret it, but I'm gonna switch here. And anyways, what happened was that they would go and they would buy up all the PlayStation 5s before I could get there. So I had to, in turn, wait. That's a Mega Blaziken! You know, I don't think he's gonna be very useful at all, but he would be a sick shiny. I would love that shiny. That's part of the fun here. Like, you have to decide sometimes on what Pokemon you go for based on whether or not you want it to be a shiny, right? Or you think it's going to be something that will help you take down the legendary at the end. You know, people give, hey, another viewer, welcome in. I just have been spending a lot of time hunting down shiny Yveltal so far, and really talking up tomorrow's release of Pokemon Scarlet, which is the game I'm going to be playing at 9 a.m. I believe it's 9 a.m. Hello! This should be an easy name for me to pronounce, but for some reason I have it in my mind that I'm gonna get it wrong, and if I do, I really apologize. Says Cars, welcome into the stream. I'm so glad you're here. But yes, we've just been talking about Scarlet and Violet for a lot of today's stream, and talking about, like, oh man, it's been a very interesting stream, and it will be up on the channel once the stream is over if you want to watch it back, but a lot of interesting conversation has been going on, and I'm really just hoping to end, you know, say farewell to Sword and Shield on a high note with a brand new shiny Yveltal. Might switch it up and go for a shiny Zygarde at some point. I'm a real big fan, the more and more that I think about them, right? I really like all of the legendary Pokemon. Thank you so much. I was actually started the stream off by having a bit of an issue, a mustache malfunction, if you will, right? So you can still kind of see it. One side of my mustache is not doing the same thing as the other side, and it is really, it is messing with the OCD. Welcome in, to the stream. So glad everybody is here. We're trying to send off the last generation of Pokemon with an absolute bang by acquiring a awesome shiny legendary Pokemon. I lost a ton of shinies a little bit earlier in the year when I was doing some stuff to switch between Nintendo accounts, and there was a whole thing. Basically, I lost all of my save data for every game I'd ever played, right? And when that happened, I lost, currently trying to finish Crystal before Scarlet releases. Well, depending on how far you are into Crystal, and whether you're doing like a Nuzlocke or anything challenging like that, you've picked a pretty good game, because the Gen 2 games move along pretty quickly, which is really nice, but I mean, I think that's also kind of their downfall, right? Like, they had so much potential, and I still really love the Gen 2 games, don't get me wrong. I'll actually probably be playing one just in my own time here at some point in the very near future, just to be able to experience that sense of like nostalgia and the art style and everything about them is really, really cool. But the one thing about those Gen 2 games that it's not a big deal when I'm not actually actively playing them. But man, the level scaling in that game, and I know everybody talks about the level scaling, right? Currently, just before the Elite Four. Oh, okay. Now, it's been a long time since I've played the Gen 2 games, just the proper Gen 2 games without level boosters and things like that, right? So I can't remember the exact levels of the Elite Four, but I know grinding in that game, because of that level scaling, can be very rough. So I do wish you all of the best on that. And yeah, are you getting both games? Are you getting only one of the two? If you get which one are you getting? I myself eventually will have both games. I'm just holding off on. I'm holding off on buying the other one because there's not really a lot I can do with it right now. But yeah, like, are you getting Scarlet or Violet? Why? Is it one of the Pokemon that's involved? Is it? I'm sure it would be, right? Getting Scarlet, all right. Yes, so I'm going Scarlet as well. That is going to be the game that I stream on the channel, and I'm very, very, very excited. The one thing is I wish that just one of the version-specific Pokemon was inversed. I really do. There's just one Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet that I know of, at least. I'm avoiding most spoilers, but one of the version-specific Pokemon I really just wish were switched around, because it doesn't make any logical sense to me, and it really messes with my OCD. Scarlet, because you like red. You know nothing about next gen. Okay, another person avoiding spoilers. I very much approve of that. It's been an effort, but I myself am trying my best to avoid any kind of spoilers. I don't think we really need to slow down Ivysaur here, so we're just gonna go for the round. The one problem with Dynamax Adventures is some of these movesets are just painful sometimes. Really are. Where's my Fire Punch? I want Fire Punch on an Electabuzz. I mean, call me crazy, right? Going in completely blind, my man. I really appreciate your avoidance of the spoilers. Makes me feel like I've done the right thing here. And I've never really been able to stream a new gen game on release day before, but I feel like going in blind is the best way to do it. In Pokemon Sword, I kept up with every rumor, every spoiler, so figured you'd do the opposite this time around. Alright, well, it's gonna be a completely new experience. I went in completely blind to Pokemon Sword and Shield. So by trade, I'm a filmmaker, so I think it's kind of just in my blood to avoid things like trailers and spoilers wherever possible, for movies, for games, for everything I'm interested in. So I typically try to go in as blind as possible to everything, entertainment-wise. I'm not always the most successful, especially when it comes to video games, because boy, when something gets leaked, does the community go absolutely wild and just assume that everybody wants to know all of the information as it comes out. So I'm noticing it more now that I'm like more involved in things like Twitter and other social medias, just to keep the channel up and running. But man, oh man, is there a lot of chatter out there, and it's not always welcome chatter. So you have to really be careful and make an effort to avoid things. Like, I use Twitter to talk to other people about like commissions and things like that, right? But pretty much lately, I've just been kind of going on there and very quickly clicking like the DM slot so I don't accidentally come across something and ruin something for myself. Because, as I kind of mentioned earlier on in the stream, everybody, all of the Poketubers, all of the big names are going to be streaming this game at roughly the same time. So this is going to be a very, very small fish in a big pond kind of situation for me. But yeah, I think, like, you know, for the people that do happen to come into my stream, even if they are just like parents and personal friends in the real world, I want to be able to you know, show my surprise, show my excitement, and I wouldn't be able to do that if I had been spoiled on anything. Okay, encountered a backpacker. Please give me something good. Please. We have weakness policy, leftovers, life orb. Oh. You know, we have the super effective moves. I don't want to go with the life orb because of the HP drain on it. So I think Expert Belt is our best play here. We do have one death so far. I'm not going to watch any streams until you beat it. My man, you're really going in completely blind. Good for you. Honestly, if I wasn't streaming tomorrow, my game plan would be to play the game and then also have a stream up. That would just be my method. I don't know why I tend to do that, but that's kind of what I tend to do. Yeah, it kind of actually really hurts me that I can't watch someone else's stream tomorrow, but once I sit down and actually start streaming the game, I'm sure that opinion will change a little bit. Alright, so do we go for the Electro Web and slow him down, or do we just Dynamax? Dynamax? Wow. Really biffed that one, didn't I? Dynamax here. I think that's the move. We're just going to straight up Dynamax. And, come on. Fingers crossed for the shiny Yveltal this time. Come on. I want the shiny. Give it to me! Shiny Yveltal, shiny Blaziken. Give me one of those. I will absolutely take them. Absolutely take them. So Cars, who is your favorite Poketuber? Who do you watch most often when you do watch streams or VODs? Who is your go-to? Who got you into watching Pokemon content? Substitute. And see, these movesets are so random sometimes. I doubt I would ever see a Dugtrio with Substitute. Honestly, outside of this... Whoa! 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 What the heck is going on here? What was that animation? What was that animation? I've never seen Yveltal's chest glow like that. I've never seen that before. Have I just been complete... Have I had the blinders? No! Raichu! What the fuck? No! That's horrible! I can't use electric type moves at all because this stupid thing has lightning rod? Are you joking? No! Oh, that's such a bummer. This is gonna take way longer than it needs to now. Okay, well, now it's dead, and of course, the time it gets knocked out and I can use an electric move, I go for a max strike! I'm throwing! Think Noodles, back when Sun came out. Okay, I'm not familiar with Think Noodles, actually. That may be another one I have to check out at some point in the future, if I can maintain any dignity through this Dynamax raid. But I only started... You only started playing Pokemon with Pokemon Sword, man. Okay, completely a brand new fan, and at least in my old eyes. That's so cool, actually. Have I ever even like really spoken to someone that started that soon? Like I thought Asteroid or Frank started, you know, he's very young, but like I thought him starting in Generation 5 is crazy, or Generation 6, whenever it was. But man, that's crazy. That's awesome. Papacy. Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with Papacy at least. That's awesome. Yeah, he's a great YouTuber. I think the PokeTuber I watch the most often. Well, it'd be really hard for me to say actually, because I mean I go. Oh, you played Diamond and White 2, so you know some stuff. Okay, great. White 2, Black 2, and White 2. You know, despite me being a Gen 1er, right? Black 2 and White 2, I think, are the most impressive Pokemon games for a few reasons. One, I really like all of the generational Pokemon. I can't think of any that I actually dislike except for I'm not a huge fan of the monkeys. You know, I know some people out there really love them, but they just never really grew on me. Is that Raichu's back, isn't he? I have to round. I don't want to round. I'd rather just raise his special attack, if I'm honest. So we're gonna try to do that, and maybe he'll die again, and we can get the voltage off. We'll see. Okay, so you've actually played some of the better games. You've played the White 2, Ultra Sun. Those are, you know, really, really good games in my opinion. But Gen 5, I think, is a very, very good Pokemon generation. I really, really enjoyed it. It is the one that started off like competitive battling and stuff in Pokemon, at least in the way that we know it now. So a lot of good came out of that. But I still feel the need to say, like, welcome to the, you know, world of Pokemon. Yeah, if you started playing, that means you've been playing for like a max of 3 years. Really, really cool to see a newer fan come into the community, watch the content, all that stuff. Sword the most, Crystal the second most. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, you're gonna be able to come at this. No! We got kicked out! I missed it, but we got kicked out. I didn't even get the shiny Blaziken. I got a shiny nothing. Ah, what a bummer. What an absolute bummer. Come on, not having much luck tonight so far. We're gonna keep going though, because you know, I aimed for the hour. I'm very happy that I've gotten to the hour, and I feel good still. I don't feel like I just need to go and take a nap. Yeah, I definitely need to get back into playing just a vanilla Gen 2 game, just to have that experience again. I've been holding off on it for some reason. It's been in the back of my mind. I have the original. All of the original games, actually, so I have no reason not to play them, other than, I've just had too many options and been unable to, make the appropriate decision, I think. But I'm so glad to hear that you're really enjoying your experience in Pokemon so far. I don't know if you were around when I was talking about, like, so I made a trip to AWA, and I was part of I wasn't part of, but I went to a panel where they were talking about, like, Pokemon being used as, like, teaching tools in school in the future across the world for things like genetics and climate change and things like that aren't covered well or updated enough in... Ooh, we get Flygon. Is there any reason not to go with Flygon here? I'm going with Flygon. I don't care. AWA is it's Anime Weekend Atlanta. It is an anime convention that happens every year in Atlanta, Georgia. And I went this year so that I could meet up with, like, Game Boy Luke and United Gamer, Original 151, Vinny Dillon. All of these guys had a panel down there, so I went to that. And while I was there, I went to this panel on, it was pitched, is that a Togepi? Please be a Togepi and not a Spritzy. Not that it really matters, but, so it's an anime convention anyways, and, there were a lot of, like, Pokemon panels, people talking about Pokemon, right? And, one of the panels was the theory of Pokemon evolution. So it was actual scientists that were going over actual scientific research that had been done on Pokemon. In terms of, like, using things like Eevee to study how genetics can change, how evolution actually works, or metamorphosis. Not so much evolution, it's more metamorphosis. but yeah, it was so cool, and it was things that I had never personally thought of. But Pokemon has a much wider reach than I was aware of, and that panel really helped me see that. So yeah, the Pokemon community is thriving, and it's still going strong after 26 years. So that's really awesome. It held up a lot better than I did after 26 years, let me tell you. Once I hit 25, I started to feel the age really coming. So, good on you, Pokemon, for keeping up longer than an actual human. No, it was a great time. So, no, actually, I live in Iceland. I am an American by birth, but I live in Iceland now, and I flew back to America pretty much only for the convention. I used a little bit of time, you know, to visit my family in my hometown, but I pretty much flew to America just to attend this anime convention, which at the time seemed a little crazy to me, but it was completely worth it. It was it was a great time, and I'd never been to a convention before that, so it was a great first experience as well. And I definitely think other conventions are going to be in my future. So my recommendation would be, if you have not attended a convention or anything like that, if one comes up and it's easily accessible. Oh, you're afraid of planes and boats? No, dude, I totally understand that. I never really suffered a fear of either of those things, but I know a lot of people who did. For example, I remember, like, just to keep it in a Pokemon context, Original 151 is one of the tubers that I watch very often. His name's Vinny, and up until about, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, he absolutely refused to get on planes. He wouldn't fly. He would drive absolutely everywhere, but now, because he travels so much, he's just kind of had to bite the bullet and do it. I think he's had a pretty good experience with it thus far. God may help in crossing the whatever the gap between Ireland and the UK is in the distant future. Maybe. I wouldn't hold out for it, but maybe. Yeah, but living in Iceland is a completely different, it is a different world over here than it is in the States, and it's really not something that you notice until you actually find yourself in a different country, how you know, different things are. It's pretty Americanized over here, but you still very much feel the differences. I mean, different language and everything is crazy. It's crazy. It's a crazy experience, but I know I made the right choice. And yeah, I mean, while I'm not, now I'm thinking about it, like, I'm not afraid of planes, but I like them a lot less now than I did when I first started flying. I was 19, I think, when I got on a flight for the first time, and I was so excited by, you know, traveling such a distance. A car fanatic. I mean, I should have understood by the... Ooh! Pardon me. Should have understood that by the screen name there. So I know I really like cars too. I was actually, when I lived in America, I was a valet for a long time in college. I don't know what this glitch is. Anyways, so yeah, I was a valet for a long time, and wait, are your parents Polish? If so, that's pretty funny. I mean, not funny, but like, so my girlfriend is Polish, and they're here in Iceland. Polish people make up, I think, the second largest community of foreigners after, like, Americans. So there's a ton of Polish influence here. You were born in Poland. Okay, that's awesome. What part of Poland? I can't promise you that I'll know what it is, but I might. What part of Poland? What town or city? Warsaw. Okay, Warszawa. Okay, nice. Yeah, my girlfriend is from a small town in the north called Koszalin. And while I have not been to Poland yet, as soon as I get some spare time to not dedicate towards the Pokemon community, Poland is high up on my list of places to visit. One of the cities I lived in the States was Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh actually has a pretty high Polish community as well. That was my first experience with like Polish American, obviously. But man, oh man, Polish people know how to eat. There's just something about Polish food. It's just a big win every single time. I love Polish food. My girlfriend introduced me to, you might be familiar with it even if you were born in Poland. It's a soup, actually. It's called żurek. But, you know, for Polish food is the absolute best. Yes, it is. It has quickly become one of my favorites. Definitely better than Icelandic food, let me tell you. More palatable. I personally don't have much of an issue with Icelandic food, but even having said that, it's not something that, like, man, I could really go for some, you know, rotten fish. It's kind of what we have. Poland definitely knows how to do it a bit better. Definitely. Oh man, I can't be talking about this though. I'm gonna get really hungry. Oh, hold on. This Morpeko is actually pretty good. This Morpeko is actually pretty good. Look at these attacks, man. I kind of do I want to switch. Is that crazy? Do I want to get rid of a Flygon for a Morpeko? I mean, oh well, I kind of wanted to switch, but would you like to live? Wait, would you like to hear my precedent? Yeah, sure, go for it. You absolutely go for it. I think Poland could benefit from a new voice. I don't know too much about the situation there, but from what I hear, they could absolutely use a new way of looking at the world. So please, go ahead. Yes, absolutely. I mean, we have to go ice, right? That's the only thing that makes sense. Whether or not yay, people agreed with me. I wasn't wrong. The voice is starting to feel the strain here. I really gotta get better at this. 2042. That is a very specific year. Imposter? Oh, what? It's Ditto, of course. Why am I freaking out? I'm acting like this is like a Nuzlocke or something. See, that just shows my inexperience in this format. It really does. But you know what? We take those. We take those. All a sign of growth. Okay. If you win the campaign, 1, every citizen, every person who lives in Poland get a free pack of pierogies. I'm in. I'm in. I will move to Poland for free pierogies. I don't know though, 2042 is a ways away. See what needs to be fixed, and fix it or make it better. I mean, simple but effective, man. If you could make that happen, that would be awesome. Again, yeah. That's it. You know, honestly, the way presidential elections have been going in the States recently, I feel like simple is the way to go. Like, simple message, clear, to the point, say it in a language that the general population can understand, and you're better off. It would appear that is the current feelings. No fake promises, just facts. Love it. You know, when I was quite a bit younger, right? I think everybody entertains the idea of being a president of whatever country at some point in their life. And when I was quite a bit younger, you know, I questioned why it was so difficult to just tell people like what was actually fixable, and then fix those things. I mean, I'm sure I don't understand the intricacies of government or being a president or anything of that nature. But logically, you know, just don't lie. Don't be a terrible person. And you're good, you're right. Also, restart FSO if there are enough funds. Now, I don't want to show my ignorance here, but I feel like I have to. What in the world is FSO? And this may be something that I know what it is. It's just not coming to my mind because I'm so focused on this right now and I can't dig it out of the depths of my brain. Gotta study this Glalie real quick. Bug Buzz Mud Slap. I'm gonna switch. Because I need super effective moves. But yeah, I can't think off the top of my head what the FSO is. So if you want to fill me in on that, that would be great. FSO's factory. Oh, okay. So do you actually speak Polish? Are you fluent in Polish there? Okay, Yveltal, you have another chance to be shiny for me. You have another chance, and I have high expectations for this, I really do. I haven't got bad at the spelling. Well, so am I, buddy, so am I. I'm just now learning Polish to make my girlfriend's life a little bit easier. And good lord, some of the spelling is problematic. I really get confused with all of the different accent marks. And I will say, of all the languages I've studied, Polish so far has been the most difficult to wrap my mind around, I think. At least in terms of, like, just storing memory. Ooh. There we go. Rookie mistake. Not muting the cell phone. Bad at spelling in Polish and not the worst in reading. Not the worst or not the best? Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, not the worst in reading. Okay, good. Yeah, reading and writing are kind of the first things when I study a new language that I pick up on, I think. Those are the first things that really stick, and I think there's a lot to be said. Like learning a non-native language, learning a new language. If you can read a lot, and if you can write a lot, then those are the most, like, beneficial things. Like... I've taken language classes in schools before, and I don't think they're the most effective ways to learn a new language because they spend so much effort and focus on grammar when, at least here in Iceland, like when you go and you learn Icelandic, right? They try to teach you Icelandic grammar, which is it's very complicated, and Icelandic's not a grammatical language, so a lot of it doesn't make sense. And no one, when they speak Icelandic to one another, they don't speak with grammatical correctness. They speak in a way that they can get the point across quickly and efficiently. And I think a lot of effort and time is wasted in the school system teaching grammar. I'm not saying grammar is not important at some level, especially if it's your native language. Grammar becomes more important then. But when you're learning a language, trying to become proficient and speak and understand a new language, grammar is not the most important aspect, in my opinion. I think the most effective way to learn a language is learn absolute basics and move to that country. Absolutely. I mean, living in the country that you're trying to learn the language of is a huge benefit because you are surrounded, immersed in that language every day, for the most part. And it is a huge help, because your brain kind of like turns fight or flight mode on. It's like, okay, I have to learn this. I have to learn this if I'm going to survive. So it kind of helps. But yeah, so this is the first like foreign country I've lived in, and like when it comes to things like German and Norwegian and other languages that I've learned, spending the time on the grammar is definitely time that I wish I could have spent just reading more, honestly. So if I had to go back and relearn from the very beginning again, I think that would be the approach I take. Just, the reading, writing. No, Yveltal! Damn it! Okay, I gotta do it again. Why not, right? Yes, I'm fine with that. And I'm just assuming that you currently... did I already ask you if you lived in the States, Cars? I can't remember. But my memory is terrible. It's the Alzheimer's creeping on. I'm gonna assume you live in the States. And again, if you told me you did before and I just have forgotten, I do apologize. But yeah, I think living in the U.S. is another kind of like, oh, you don't? Okay. So you're still in Europe, I'm assuming. Okay, got you. Cool. Yeah, growing up in the States doesn't make learning foreign languages very easy. It's definitely not a priority in the way that they teach young children. Of course, you have the option to learn languages in high school, you know, when you're a teenager. But definitely not prioritized in the way that I think it should be. And the only reason that I have any experience in a lot of the languages that I do have some knowledge in. Oh, okay, so you live in Ireland. That makes a lot of sense with the conversation we were having earlier on, and I kind of feel a bit a bit thick now. But Ireland's awesome, dude. I've never been, obviously, but again, it's another one of those countries that's really high up on my list of places to visit. And a lot of that Irish, there's a lot of connections here between you and I. A lot of connections, but Icelandic culture has a lot of Irish influence as well. Been forced to learn Irish since you were 3. Oh my gosh, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that because I know Irish Gaelic has some very odd pronunciations. And I'm not going to embarrass myself on that one. But that's a pretty good thing to know how to say. Yeah, I don't like school. That's pretty good. You'll make you'll connect with a lot of people in that regard. So very much worth it. Man, Gaelic. That's quite an endeavor. I have a few friends from Ireland, and I'm actually really impressed with the amount of them that actually speak Gaelic because I didn't realize it had much of a focus anymore. You know, all of the stuff I read about it. And do not move to Ireland while they're in school. Okay, well I got you. Maybe I'll have kids. I don't know. I'm starting to feel like I'm getting too old to start having kids, but you know, you never know what the future holds. And oops, sorry, I had to accidentally unplug something there. Excluding teachers. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, like, I have a few Irish friends, and I don't know how fluent they are in it. Like, I don't know what even, you know, how fluency is dictated in something like Gaelic. But, yeah, I mean, they know enough to impress. So, and out of everyone in my class, everyone wants to be exempt from Irish. Really? Is it that bad? What is it? Is it tedious, or does it not make sense? Like, what is it about it that's so difficult? Oh no! It's happening! It's happening! No! I don't know how to get rid of these bots! This is horrible. How do I get rid of bots? I have one mod and it's Streamlabs. Oh no! I've not had this problem before. It makes me feel like a real streamer to have freaking sex bots coming into my chat. That sucks. Oh no! We're going with my boy Togedemaru here. Oh, and now the Sand Slash comes out. Great. Well, okay. It seems like Streamlabs mod took care of it. But yeah, Cars. What is the problem with Irish? What does everybody hate about it so much? I'm interested. Language is one of those things that I'm really, really interested in. So any insights you have into Irish or Polish for that matter, I'd love to hear it. All right, this is the run. This is the run. We are going to get shinies. There will be shinies available for me at the end of this run. Ugh. Come on. Everybody, fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything crossed. Cross everything you've got. We want the shiny. We want to send this game off, this era of Pokemon off with a bang. And the only way I know how to do that is by ending with a shiny. Sneasel! I like Sneasel. Look at him. Look at her. Sorry, it's a her. Wait, no, is it a her or him? I can't remember. It's the feather. Ah, dang it. Don't know which is which anymore. I've been put on the spot, and I have failed. But at least we shouldn't get knocked out turn 1 here. So, starting off in a good way, maybe that means we have a prize waiting for us at the end of this. We shall see. We shall see. Look at him. Look at him. I really hope I'm going to like the Pika clone in Scarlet and Violet. Right now, I've seen him once. In one trailer, I saw him. And he looks like a mix between a Pikachu and a bear, which I'm all for so far. And I think I broke something here. I hope not, but I think I broke something here. Okay, yeah, I did break something. I missed a few of these chats. Hold on, let me catch up real quick. Sneasel's dead, so now's the perfect time. Oh, it's boring and no one wants to learn it. Got you. Also, can someone explain how you, who are Polish, failed every Irish test you took? Can't be exempt from Irish, but the entire Irish class of 16 people is full of Irish people. Let me read that again here. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Well, probably I would assume that, like, if you failed Irish, then they would probably be even, and I'm not sure how old you are or what level of school you're in, but a lot of times when you fail a course like that, especially like as a foreigner trying to learn that native language, they would probably be more apt to like push it on you, if that makes sense. They would want to make sure that you have another opportunity to try to glean something from that language. No, I keep hitting the wrong button. I mean, it's not terrible, but I kind of wanted to keep Togedemaru there. 80% of the class failed. Man, that's rough. That is rough. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if I were you, I would just assume that they're going to single you out more, especially because you are a foreigner. Like, for the Irish, you know, the actual Irish people that are taking the class, I'm assuming this class is required. Like, you have to take it, correct? I'm just gonna, I assume that it would be... Okay. Oh, well, that's good. That's good. You don't have an absolute dick for a teacher. That's very helpful. Especially with learning a language. Man, that would suck if you had a teacher that was, like, out for you. Oh, yeah, it's required. Okay. Yeah, I mean, for a required class, I would assume that you know... And if this is not the case, you kind of lucked out, but, like, in my experience, taking, like, language in school, especially here, like, they're harder on foreigners, definitely, taking Icelandic classes. They try to drill it into you a little bit more thoroughly than they do natives, just because they, like, I don't know if they have less faith in you to understand, or if they just really want it to be completely clear that while, yes, everybody speaks English, right? They want you to speak their language. Like, especially in Iceland. You know, this is not really relevant for you, I don't think, because Iceland is very interesting in terms of their language. They got a super long history, one of the longest histories in terms of language of any language still spoken today, which is really interesting. But yeah, they were harder on me than they were on a lot of others, and that may be the case with you as well, just because they know that. And it might be just the fact that it is Polish, because Polish is not a I would say, like, mutually intelligible language. Like, I can't think of any one thing in Polish that I could look at and, as like an English speaker, be able to glean what that meaning is without, like, forewarning. So I feel like if they have that knowledge, that may have some effect on the way that they handle that class. Also, last year, after asking to be exempt, they put me in ordinary level. Okay. Oh no! It's only half a message. Well, the ordinary Irish teacher got moved to another school, and they decided that all of us ordinary students. Oh no! That's rough. That's. So they moved you lower, and then because the teacher moved, they put you right back where you started. Oh, that's so frustrating. That is so frustrating. I'm sorry that happened to you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, language schools are a different kind of monster than I ever expected them to be. You know, honestly, if it would help you, like, just find a different way to study, like, on your own. If it's a class that you have to pass, I mean, not really a way around it, but just find the method of study that works for you, man. Like, there are some apps out there that are really, really, a lot more helpful, in my opinion, than a lot of the stuff that I've encountered in traditional education for language. So if you can find the right thing, that might really be able to help you along and kind of put this this educational nightmare in your past. I'm so sorry that's happening to you, buddy. Now that I've touched the mustache, I'm made very aware that it's not doing what I want it to do again. Oh no! Why do I do these things to myself? How to be higher in Irish 1? Do you go to school in Ireland 2? Congratulations. Yep. The way of the world is not always fair. The way of the world is not always fair at all. It's really frustrating. My word. But, you know, I'm assuming you're a bit younger, and that at least is a benefit for you. As you age, it's way harder to learn other languages, so definitely use your youth to your advantage here. You've seen other TikTok people from other schools complaining about the same thing. Yeah, again, I think this comes down to the way that, like, traditional education goes when it comes to language. I think the priorities are all skewed. I don't think they're appropriate anymore, and I don't think they're very effective in a lot of cases. I'm just gonna switch every time it looks like this go. I want the no guard Lycanroc, give it to me. No! The one time I want to switch, it doesn't work for me. What a bummer. Yeah, so actually I can make like a recommendation that may make your life easier. But like of course as a language enthusiast, I've looked into like a lot of apps and stuff in my years. And I actually found one recently called Link, right? It's spelled Lingq. And it's a really interesting app, actually, because it kind of forces you to learn. It doesn't, like, dictate how you learn. But basically, it just gives you a bunch of stories and, like, songs and things. It lets you import your own material and learn about the stuff you actually care about, which makes it a lot easier. And obviously, I'm not sponsored by anything. I'm way too small for that. But it's just something to consider if you can find the, like, right app. It may really alleviate some of that pressure caused by the school system and their preferred method of teaching. If they used Irish in Ireland, I'm sure you'd learn it, but I'm not going to learn it for 3 years just to never use it again. Yeah, that's true. And I'm not sure how it's done, like in Ireland. They may just be like Iceland in a way, and really just like proud of their language, and they don't want to see it like die out. So they may be, that might be why they're so adamant on making it a required course. But yeah, I think just finding the right method for you is going to be key to alleviating some of the pressure you're feeling right now. Yeah, and to be honest, I kind of understand, but like, so here in Iceland, everybody has the capability of speaking English, right? But it is nice to be able to understand, and maybe it's just like the paranoid side of me. Oh, really? Ukrainian, very interesting. I really wish I knew Ukrainian, actually, because I got some neighbors, some that are Ukrainian refugees that moved in a little while back, and they heard me practicing Polish in the flat, and they knocked on my door and they wanted to talk to me, and they were so like excited and nice, but they don't speak any English, they don't speak any Icelandic, and I had a real hard time understanding what they were going on about. Like, you know, that we were talking about my dog, and you know, in Polish it's pies, and in Ukrainian it's something very similar, and like I was getting lost in translation all the way through. It was a very interesting moment in that day, trying to introduce myself to and have a brief conversation with these very, very kind and very enthusiastic gentleman who knocked on my door and spoke only Ukrainian and obviously some Polish. Yeah, so yeah, I still get confused between the Polish, the now Ukrainian that's making an appearance here in Iceland, and Czech. They all sound very similar to me still. So, oh, nice. Okay, so are you just doing? I assume you're doing that just of your own accord. Are you using something like Duolingo, or any other apps for that? Or are you using books? How are we going about learning Ukrainian? Because that is quite an endeavor. The Cyrillic language system is complex, to say the least. Much less has Thunder Punch. What the this Munchlax is actually kind of cracked. What the heck? Am I crazy? Do I want Munchlax right now? Screw it. Let's take Munchlax. Let's freaking take Munchlax. Just Googling stuff and listening with English subtitles. Really? All right. Nice. Do you find it to be similar enough to Polish that it's fairly intelligible without much help? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? Going expert belt again. This is just my item tonight. It's showing up every single time. Kind of similar, but still very different. Yeah, I kind of got that sense from the gentleman at the door. Well, I mean, I wish you the best. Yeah, the different alphabet, that Cyrillic alphabet. That's yeah. Although, I don't think there are many accent marks in Ukrainian, so I don't know. You might wind up being a better speller in Ukrainian than in Polish. As much studying as I've done in Polish, man, the spelling I still get wrong sometimes, and that is a bit of a punch to the pride for me. I've always considered myself a good speller, even in Icelandic, but yeah, the Polish language is a different monster. Okay, someone got the Toxic off. Thank you, Salazzle. That's going to be helpful. Although I think they can actually heal it. It's been a minute since I've done Dynamax raids and stuff in Sword and Shield. Oh, really? Okay. I feel like, yeah, so I feel like there's still a lot of ties to, like, Ukraine, in some cases, like Russia, Germany, and stuff in Poland. Poland has a really interesting history from what my girlfriend has showed me. Like, you know, Poland just didn't exist twice in history. And that in itself is interesting, but, like, my girlfriend's mother is... so Koszalin is in the north, and it's kind of like close-ish to the Russian border. And her mother, when she was growing up, was not taught English or anything at all, so she learned Polish and Russian. And then her father was from a town in the west, the northwest, I suppose, of Poland. And when he was growing up, he learned Polish and German. So neither one of her parents speak any English, really, even to this day. And yeah, so she's got a really interesting like cultural mix going on there. You know, the Russian influence, the German influence, and then, you know, her being taught English and stuff in school and doing some traveling. She's got quite a lot of differences in her outlook and her approach to things, just due to the way that she was brought up in a I guess a multicultural household. Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Ooh, interesting. See, I don't know much about Lithuania at all. Another big detriment to growing up in the States, you don't really learn about any country other than the United States, except for, like, you know, Germany is evil. We beat them in a war, so we are wonderful. Japan was evil in World War II, and we beat them, so there's no need to learn about them. They are... Stop attacking me. I'm really glad that I moved out of the United States for that reason and that reason alone. Just to have some, you know, external input about the history of the world, and learn some of the things that I was deprived of growing up in a very America-centric society. I have that conversation with my Icelandic friends all the time, because they just talk about, like, the world. You know, they were taught about it growing up, and when I can't weigh in or I'm wrong about something, I have to constantly remind them, like, look, we don't learn about the rest of the world. It's a struggle, you know. Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth was basically the size of Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Ukraine, and Belarus. Wow, okay. So... Is this during one of those periods where Poland didn't actually exist as Poland? Was it in one of those times? I'm trying to like sit here and remember the Polish timeline. Oh, it's often referred to as Poland. It's just like kind of okay. So it's one of those situations like the Soviet Union. It just used to be kind of a smushing together of all of the countries into one bigger unit. Got it. No, Eveltal! No! Why do you hate me? Ah! I love you so much and you give me nothing! We're gonna do one more. We're gonna do one more because I'm freaking... I want it. I want it so bad! Just give me one shiny. I'm collecting all the Dynite ores that I'll never ever use again. At least on this channel. Damn it! Okay, well, hold on. Hold on. We're gonna switch things up a little bit here. And I'm actually gonna go for Zygarde. I know, I love Zygarde shiny so much, but I want the Yveltal so bad. But we're gonna go with Zygarde. Maybe I'll have better luck here. Okay. Got you. Only Poland and Lithuania existed before the Union, so it was like two countries uniting. Okay, so like Czechoslovakia, when it was Czechoslovakia. Okay, understood. Cool. Yeah, there's so much history and stuff in Europe, and I'm jealous I wasn't born a European, but hey, what can you do, right? What can you do? You deal with the cards you're given. And this is the first time tonight I've actually been the fourth person in the party, so it seems like there are a lot of people trying to get this shiny Zygarde before Scarlet and Violet release. Now, maybe Scarlet and Violet will give me the ability to turn my girlfriend into a Pokemon fan. That is the theory. And Cars, I'm gonna mention that I had someone from Poland in my chat. And I'm going to try to use that to convince her to give Pokemon another chance here. You have inspired me to try to convince my girlfriend to tolerate Pokemon. Okay, so now we are going for Zygarde. We're going ground. You know, I'm gonna make a crazy choice, and I'm gonna go with Wigglytuff. I'm gonna have my Jigglies puffled here, or my Wigglies puffled, I suppose. It still sounds so dirty. It still sounds so dirty to say that. Hi guys, welcome into the stream. If I haven't said hi to you yet and you've just come in recently, I'm really bad about keeping an eye on what's actually happening on my bottom screen here. Still a fairly new streamer, but welcome into the chat. We are on, I think, our 5th attempt going through the Dynamax raids, hoping to close out Pokemon Sword and Shield on a high note with a shiny. We've been going for shiny Yveltal all night. Decided to switch it up a little bit, and now we're going for a shiny Zygarde. Then a certain Germany invaded, and a certain England and France didn't offer their promised help, and Soviets invaded, and then poof went Poland. Yeah, Poland really is in a interesting spot when another like superpower wants to take over, because yeah, Poland's in a very strategically beneficial location. I do know that much, and it's not great for Polish citizens and all of that stuff to be that popular, right? You know, popularity isn't always a good thing. But yeah, Poland gets picked on quite a lot, I think. And I am very proud to say that, like, at least America hasn't like started any shit with Poland, right? You know, I'm very happy about that, and I don't really claim much like involvement or like attachment to the United States or anything like that. But yeah, I'm glad we haven't caused any further strife for you guys over there. You've got it hard enough as it is. Hey! Frozen! Nice, okay, well this is a good start to the Dynamax raid, right? We get a freeze, at least we won't lose a life here, hopefully. The Zygarde is going to be a monster to take down. I've done this raid before, and more often than not, you just don't get through it because he's such a beefy guy. Beefy, snaky thing, you know? Yeah. It's so cool. What are the chances of having like a Polish person? Not to put you on like in the spotlight or anything if you don't want to be Cars, but it's so cool, like, you know, just to have someone that I can kind of relate my current or recent life events to, your cultural situation, come into my chat just randomly. That's really cool. Not a very nationalistic person. Okay. Fair enough, yeah. I mean, to be quite honest with you, like, I'm definitely not a nationalistic person, and like a lot of people almost have a hard time believing I am an American in some situations when I first meet them, because they're like, well, you don't act like many Americans that we've met. I'm definitely not America-centric, and I never really have been. I've always been much more interested in European culture and European people than American culture and American people, and it had a really interesting like effect when I was in like high school and stuff like that, trying to form into the person that I just no, I'm not the first person in the party. Okay, I was about to lose my mind if I just switched again for no reason. Wait, I think we have to go ice, right? I mean, yeah, okay, everybody's smart. We are going ice. And I've lived all over the United States, and I never really found a place that I loved enough to stay for an extended period of time. Pittsburgh was great, but like I've lived in LA, I've lived in like Denver, I've lived all over the place, and I'm finding living abroad much more See, this is the problem about living in another country. You start to lose your English. You start to lose your native language sometimes. It doesn't come as quickly as you think it should. But I'm finding it a lot more satisfying. There we go. Living here. I feel much more connected to Icelandic society now than I do American society. In a lot of ways. Not every way. I'm always going to be an American at heart, but I definitely do feel more of an emotional connection to Icelandic culture, and yeah, and I mean, I don't want to say I feel more of a connection to like Polish culture or anything, because just because I date a Polish person, But like, of the Polish people that I've met, and it's been quite a few, I tend to appreciate Polish sensibilities more so than the average American sensibility. So that's probably the most clear way I can say it without claiming something that isn't true. Love to move back to Poland when you're older, just don't think you could leave your immediate family behind. Yeah, so, I mean, I left home when I was 18. Like, so I was born in the South, and I've never been a fan of the South. Like, as far back as I can remember, I wanted to move out of the South. So as soon as I turned 18, pretty much, I started devising ways to do so. I moved into an apartment in my hometown when I was 18, lived there for, you know, until I think I moved to Pittsburgh when I was 20. And I mean, I've lived in my hometown again since moving away. And moving away from family is a very difficult thing to do. But the way that I've always kind of like rationalized it internally is that, like, so life is hard, right? This is gonna get kind of like deep and a little mushy here, but life is difficult, and I feel like if you can at least put yourself in a place that you want to be, that's taking one massive stressor away from you. So even if you're gonna have trouble, like with money or jobs or relationships or whatever it is, if you're at least in a place that you like to be in, you have that to fall back on, because those things are going to be a struggle no matter where you go. There's always going to be a struggle for money. There's always going to be a struggle to meet the right people to bring into your circle, be that like in a romantic sense or in just a, you know, acquiring friends is difficult. But if you can put yourself in a place where you feel comfortable, where you feel, I don't want to say included, you know, but where you just feel like home, then that eliminates one massive stressor, even if it does mean leaving family behind. Honestly, I think moving here has brought me even closer to my family in some regards, because man, oh man, do they love to come and visit me here. And I think they love the fact that I've moved here, because it gives them a reason to come here. So that's, I might have really lucked out there, or that might be, you know, just a fact of moving so far away. But yeah, that's been my experience, and while it is a very hard thing, if you find the right place, you surround yourself with the right people, you do all of that stuff, it's incredibly rewarding, and you really, the stress of moving away from your family doesn't hit so hard anymore. Got you. Now, have you gone around Poland very much? Have you been able to return and visit? Have you seen places outside of Warsaw? Like, have you seen anything in the north, like near Gdańsk or anything like that? No? I got you. Yeah. I don't know much about Warsaw. Like, it's one of the few places like my girlfriend doesn't talk about all that much. But eventually I'll see it, you know. But yeah, like, I just out of some of the stuff that I've seen, like, Poland is beautiful, absolutely freaking beautiful. And if it weren't for the very seemingly intense government and regulations and stuff like that, it would definitely be on my list of places to live, like, in a more permanent way. I actually, before I even got to Iceland, I sent applications to both companies and schools in Poland, just in an attempt to get out of the States at, like, the earliest possible opportunity. So Poland has been on my list, and it always, you know, even more so now that I'm actually involved with a Polish person. You lived in Krakow, and Oh, when you were 3, but then just moved straight to Ireland. Okay, I got you. Yeah, you moved away young too, so you really didn't even get to experience it much as an adult. That's a bummer too. Have you been back to Poland at all as you've gotten a little bit older? Man, I did not think I was going to survive almost 2 hours of stream tonight. I really didn't think I was going to do it. The way I felt earlier. Okay, man, oh man. That's got to feel very interesting, being born somewhere and have memories of it, but not be able to return. That's got to be very interesting. See, that's the thing I know I missed out on, being an American and waiting so long to do any kind of traveling. It wasn't because I wanted to, it was out of necessity. Hold on, what is the attack difference here? Ooh. We have competitive. Now I'm swapping, I'm making it. Henrik's gonna get it anyway. Yeah, my luck really pays off there. Ah, God. But I'm so glad you came into my chat tonight, Cars. It's been a really great time talking to you. I'm not going anywhere. I know that sounded like I was like logging off. That is not the case. I just wanted to bring it up. I kind of got lost in my commentary of the game there. There you go. At least you're still kind of like in Europe, you know? At least you still have the access. If you had moved to like the United States, it would have been an absolute nightmare to try to get out. Let me tell you from experience, it's not easy, but at least you are still in the European sphere and can travel easily. That is one of the things I'm looking forward to so much. The moment I get some free time next year, I will be doing all of the traveling. All of it! I don't want to waste my dazzling gleams right off the bat here. I'm gonna do some expanding forces. You don't need a road. You got ferries. You got ferries. I know you're afraid of boats and everything. Wait, don't they have the cross-channel like train? Isn't that an option for you from London? I don't know about from Ireland, but I know from like London, there's from Dover, there is a cross-channel train, I think. So that might be something to consider. That way you don't have to wait on the road. And yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what it is that you're afraid of when it comes to like boats and stuff, but being on a ferry is nothing like being on a boat. I don't know if, if it's the motion that you don't like or just the fact that you might sink. Is from England, but there's no physical link between Ireland, Britain, or mainland Europe. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. So you're just saying like the crossing, the initial crossing of the sound. Is it the sound? What is it? The channel. Channel is the thing. Don't like boats because you might sink and can't swim. Oh yeah, okay. Gotcha. Is learning how to swim something that you want to do at some point in the future, or are you afraid of the water in general? I totally understand that though. I personally, I'm not afraid of many things, but I am afraid of the ocean. I'm not afraid of water, and I can swim and everything, but I'm terrified of the ocean, because sharks. I don't like knowing that there's something that can just eat me on a whim. So I definitely can share that fear with you on some level there. I definitely understand where you're coming from. Okay, so Hattering's dead. Am I also dead? I didn't see my health bar. I was too busy focused on him. See this freaking Zygarde? It's a menace. Stop! No! You bitch! God, he killed everybody. You ass! I hate this thing! Oh my god. We're gonna lose. Fun. Like to learn how to swim. Oh, you had swimming lessons in school? Man, school in Europe is totally different. That's kind of cool though. Yeah, I think I learned out of necessity, because as a child, I just kind of jumped in the water, whether I could swim or not. I remember stories my mom told me about that. Can you knock this thing out, please? The cheapest bit of land in the UK. Okay, so you like the way you see it, like in the future, you want to have like property in the UK and in Poland? Would that be the no, sex bot, go away. Thank God for this freaking Streamlabs mod. I can't wait to get some actual human mods. No! Okay, we're going back to Iveltal. Actually, honestly, I probably need to wrap up the stream right here. But we're gonna check just to see if we got any shinies. No! Sword and Shield! Absolute upset for the night. No shinies to speak of. So many attempts and no shinies to speak of. That is a bummer. But yeah, I do think it is going to be time to wrap up the stream. Thank you all so much for coming and watching me send off Pokemon Sword and Shield the best way that I could, although it didn't want to really cooperate with me the best. Totally okay. I want to say thank you to everybody in my chat. Cars, it was a fantastic time talking to you. I hope to see you around more in the future. And for those of you who are here, we are going to be streaming tomorrow at the release of Pokemon Scarlet. So we are going to be doing, in my mind at least, an all-day stream of Pokemon Scarlet tomorrow. We are going to be playing it as a Nuzlocke. Probably against my better judgment here, but we are going to be playing it as a Nuzlocke, so it's going to be a fantastic time. I'm so excited, and I hope to see you all there. Make sure you hit subscribe, hit like, give me all of the things that you can give me, and I hope to see you around in future streams. Until then, take it easy and have a good night. Bye-bye.